You know, when we think about citizenship, our minds usually jump to these big political moments. But what if the real power, the true strength of a nation, is actually found in our everyday lives? In this explainer, we're going to dive into how your daily calling, your vocation, is one of the most powerful forms of civic engagement you can possibly have.
So to really get this, we first have to kind of stretch our definition of what it means to be a citizen. It's not just a hat you put on when you go to vote. It's a role you're living out, well, every single day.
So let me ask you, what does good citizenship actually look like? Is it all about the big, loud stuff, the protests and the political debates? Or is it maybe found in the quiet, consistent things we do when nobody's even watching?
And this right here highlights a really crucial difference. On one side, you've got the public performance of citizenship, voting, going to meetings. And look, those things are important for sure. But then, on the other side, you have the private practices, your daily habits, your personal integrity, whether or not you keep your promises. This stuff, this is the moral fabric that a free society is actually built on.
And that brings us to this incredibly powerful idea that connects these two worlds. It's called vocation. Think of it as the bridge between our private lives and our public duty.
The word vocation actually comes from the idea of a calling, and it's way more than just a job title. It's really any legitimate way you contribute to the common good through whatever work and responsibilities you have.
And as you can see, this is an incredibly broad idea. It doesn't matter if you're a parent, a student, an entrepreneur, a caregiver, a tradesperson. If you are contributing something positive, you have a vocation. We all do.
Okay, so if we all have a vocation, how does that actually translate into civic action? Let's get really specific about how citizenship is lived out in those small but decisive moments of every single day.
This is where the rubber meets the road. It's in these little daily tests of our character, right? The choice to tell the truth even when it's tough, the discipline to actually follow through on your commitments, the basic respect you show for your neighbor and for the law. These actions might seem minor, but they are the literal threads that weave a strong community together.
And this gets to the heart of it all. Our culture today celebrates visibility. It's all about platforms, followers, influence. But liberty isn't preserved by fame. It's preserved by faithfulness. It's the quiet consistency of responsible parents, honest workers, and trustworthy neighbors that actually holds a free society together.
Okay, so let's zoom out. How do all these individual, faithful actions really scale up to impact an entire nation? Let's connect the dots from our daily work all the way up to the preservation of liberty itself.
This chain reaction here lays it out perfectly. It all starts with you. Your daily work, your responsibilities, they do more than just pay the bills. They are literally forging your character. Now, when you have a society full of people with integrity, you build a culture of trust. And that culture, that's the bedrock that liberty needs to stand firm. But here's the flip side, and it's kind of scary. When personal responsibility starts to crumble, when we stop governing ourselves, society creates a vacuum. And that vacuum is almost always filled by calls for more external control, more rules, more laws, more oversight. We basically end up trading our inner discipline for outer enforcement.
And here's the powerful consequence of this whole idea. When tons of individuals are out there solving problems in their communities through their own work and service, it just reduces the need for the government to step in. So in a very real way, widespread faithfulness acts as this natural grassroots check on the expansion of government power.
So we've explored the why. Now it's time for the how. Let's make this super practical and talk about what you can do, starting, well, today.
This is the key question, right? We don't need some grand platform or a massive following to make a profound difference. We just need to be faithful, right where we are. So what does that look like for you this week?
Here is a simple 4-step plan to get started. First, identify your primary vocation. What is it? Second, name one specific way it contributes to the common good. Third, commit to one single specific act of integrity this week. Just one. And finally, and this one is so important, explain to someone younger why your work matters. This is how we pass on a culture of freedom to the next generation.
Let's end on this quote, because it just wraps everything up so perfectly. The future of liberty isn't just being decided in some far-off halls of power. It's being built, or it's being broken, in the ordinary places of our daily lives. So the real question is, what are you going to build this week?